topic today is, what does data misuse have to do with quality? Are the quality levels of how something is stolen, or what is meant by that? We are a broadcaster without any profit background and just here to teach you. My name is Carl, and I welcome you to RTV 88 News. My boss, who has been working in the information technology industry for decades, as a manager, security consultant, and the like, is very socially inclined and is of the opinion that everyone should learn more about this topic. Especially teens, older humans, and the millions of unknowing need more help to save themselves. What could be better than getting information from someone who is a professional and has been worked since many years in this field? Let's talk of some points. People, data theft and data breaches, quality. The whole thing is to be considered in this order. People generate data that can and often is then stolen due to poor quality in many reasons. Why is that? On the one hand, data networks are often poorly maintained, and there are too many people working on the systems. They do not do their job properly, have their own problems too, and on the other hand, hardly anyone knows what happens, or can happen during data processing, because it simply exceeds the human horizon. The most of us humans think that information technology is a holy grail, and everyone in the industry knows what they are doing. Far from it. This phenomenon of the faithful of the uniformed can also be observed in connection with smock wearers in different sections. If someone holds a certain title, position, most people run blindly after it, and believe to swan everything. One example, in some Internet Explorers you can show the setting incognito mode. This is intended to suggest security, and tempts users to reveal even more private information on the one hand, and on the other hand that these browsers continue to be used. Without deception, such companies would lose their ground very quickly. Deceptions of this kind are believed immediately, since dependence and trust were created in advance. By evaluating information and data from all the millions of believers, it is easy to steer, so it is not surprising that so many use all services with only a few companies, because they trust this company. But, this will be one of the next topics. Another point is math. If we consider that mathematics is not the strength of people, it is not surprising that we are overwhelmed with techniques that work with a lot of mathematical calculations, bits and bytes. This is the case for most people in the world, and not only for those who do not work in the information technology. That's why we prefer to leave it to others. Exactly this habit is the biggest mistake in case of security. Let's ask the question, why is that the case? Why are data thefts reported so often? Data from millions of people stolen from unsecure and wrong configured systems on big companies and e-commerce giants, and then offered for sale. Simply because it is possible to steal data through insecure and poorly configured or maintained systems. Unfortunately, so many of us are too reckless and too generous when it comes to distributing their own personal data. Right here comes the SOP in the game. This sign stands for quality, security, and privacy. Mark trusted websites and untrusted too. The requested website must not have installed marketing add-ons, tracking mechanisms or any other data mining procedures in place. Owners of companies and websites with security problems etc. also have no permission to install the SOP. The huge goal for any website visitor is to know who they can trust and who can't. To become a SOP member is not easy and is linked to some rules and audits. If you want to know more about the SOP, you can do so via the link in the description field we offer in the next time. We are already in efforts to establish the SOP. The copyright, trademarks, idea, design, distribution and any further development lies solely with us, and our selected community partners. With every little thing, we trumpet everything without being aware of the consequences. Credit card information stored on insecure systems occurs countless times every day, only that most do not know or notice it. Or only notice if something is wrong with the bank account or anything else. When a large amount of cash disappears, and the account owner can't do about it, it's too late. Information that is once on the internet can hardly be removed, not even if we make a deletion request, and the owner of our data makes the promise that he will delete it. Why? There are backups, people who promise a lot and keep little, data paths that even the system owner does not know, employees who sell data to supplement their salary, services such as Google and other marketing strategists who have the marketing and money mania, and much more, that is bad for the security of our privacy and personal data. All these inferior practices and qualitatively discardable workflows and human deeds make it possible to struggle daily with data misuse, invasion of privacy, criminal tasks, material and immaterial losses, and much more. Even if we have lost personal data and information through third parties, we do not know when this data loss will be used against us. Data can also only be used years after a theft against the owner. Usually this divorced exactly so, for the reason of forgetting. If someone applies the stolen goods directly after a burglary, it is noticed much faster than if this was divorced much later. All of a sudden, this is usually not off the table. No, once become a victim of a data breach, many will be there again, and again. For the simple reason that the amount of data is very large and data is collected over a long period of time. Security gaps existing all the time and can never eliminate at all. And the most don't know about it, do nothing against it, often for years, someone never. It depends a lot on every on us, if, and when we become victims of data abuse. If we store everything in a cloud, in so-called social media portals, we convert everything online. We write every little thing in the status of messages. What we are doing, what we eat, where we are, what we like and what we don't, our phone number, addresses. We surf on too much websites they are peppered with Google Analytics code and the like, who do data mining. Do we give away our good ideas on so-called free online storage? And power virtual environments? Do we almost always pay by credit card, and do we always have our GPS with the mobile device set to on, search and other things all the time with Google? Are we telling strangers too much about ourselves? You can be sure, most of us do all this exactly, all the time. We advise you, don't do that. Not only those who do this every day, are also all others who don't do that, become victims, sacrifice in many ways. It is not only data that is stolen through carelessness and naivety. The septic tank reaches much deeper than most can imagine and the eyes can show. Please, the next time you put something on the internet, or enter data and information about yourself somewhere, think about whether this is a good idea. Quality is one of the main keys of all problems, when it comes to work in information technology, data protection and everything else. Likewise, the quality of work with, and around data processing. Everything qualityless brings us a lot of trouble and useless goods, not more. Instead of learning from the mistakes, it seems as if we are becoming more and more qualityless over time. Each of us can contribute to making it better. Next session, We talk little deeper about someone we trust too much. With that in mind, take care of yourselves. See you next time. Here with RTV 88 News. Your Carl.